want to read the introduction for us about the farmer? Okay, who's in nice and slow though, okay?
The farmer has just cleared a new field for corn. The field is a unique plot of land because a river runs along one side. The corn looks good in some areas of the field, but not others. So the farmer is not sure if he wants to continue to harvest the field. He has decided to harvest only 10 plots of land to estimate the total amount of corn harvested. Based on the estimate, he will decide whether to harvest the remaining plots.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the farmer is over here, and it says the farmer began by choosing 10 plots that would be easy to harvest. So because he's over here, these are the 10 that he chose that would be easy to harvest. So those are already marked on the grid, okay? And this is an example of a convenient sample because a convenient sample is easy. So on your paper, I'd like you to also underline convenient sample and easy. Okay, and this is what the farmer decided to harvest. All right, do you think the farmer's convenient sample is a good representation of the entire field?
No.
Explain your answer. So if you think no, like Hussein, then write no and explain why. And if you think yes, it is, then write yes and explain why. And I'm going to pause for a minute for you to write, and then we'll go over your answers. So the question is, do you think the 10 plots the farmer chose is a good representation of the entire field? And explain why. Or why not. Maybe not much this way.
You guys finished?
Did you write down why or not? So David, the question is, are these 10 plots a good representation of the entire field? And then why or why not? Okay, right there. She's just being. All right, you guys done writing?
So
You guys can move it that way? So the farmer chose these plots to try to figure out whether or not the corn is growing well in the whole field. And the question is this a good representation of the entire field? And then why or why not?
So that will be next time, because that's them doing their job, and now you know. You're actual ass.
Okay. All right, can you guys compare your answers? So once you have something written down, compare with your neighbors, see if they agree or disagree. If you don't know what to write, check with your neighbors about what they wrote. Hussein, did you and David write the same thing or different things?
Basically the same thing.
Basically the same thing? Okay, can you talk to each other? And David, can you keep one of your earplugs out?
Talk to each other.
I don't even play anything right now.
I understand that, but I know you can hear me if one of them's out.
I can hear you too.
Thank you.
No,
Okay.
I don't, is he sure?
Destiny, in your group, did anybody have an answer for that? Did you guys agree on yes or no? You don't know? Andre, what did you put? You put no? Did anybody else in your group put no?
Okay.
Hey, Andre, why'd you say no? What?
I don't even know.
You don't know, you just put no. Okay. All right, Hussein. Hussein,
Yeah.
what did you put?
No, because it's not the same size.
It's not the same size? Well, I think the plots, like,
there's no way that plot could represent all the corn.
Excellent.
okay. So I like where you're going with that. They are the same size, but it can't represent all of the corn in the field because some of the field is next to what? The river. Yeah, some of the field's next to the river and some of it's not. So the plots near the river might have a different amount of corn. So if you don't have anything there yet, we can try to put together what some of your classmates said. This convenient sample, it's not a good representation.
It's really good.
As you just said, the size is like.
Who?
You're writing that down to make sure you get the details.
Because some of the plots are closer to the river. Okay. Do I have somebody else who is willing to read?
I'll read.
I appreciate you, Husin, but I really want to see if I can get somebody else to read too.
The box.
Yeah, the box, Alex.
Alright, the farmer needs your help. You can help him find a better estimate with a different type of sample. You'll still be allowed to pick 10 plots to harvest these early. Your job is to determine whether the following methods is the best one to pick to use and decide if they are better than the farmer's.
Good. Okay. So Alex just read this box here to us, and we're going to choose 10 plots, but this time we're going to do a simple random sample. Okay. So doing simple random sample, we need to number these boxes. So if we're numbering from 1 to 100, it would be good to start with 1, right? And the last one would be what number? How many do we have altogether?
That's a what over here? You take the best of the subsequent digits.
100, thank you. So the last one is 100. So let's see, this is going to be 1 through 10. I really don't want to have to write all the numbers out, so I'm going to do like this, 1 through 10, right? And then 11 through 20. 21 to 30. 31 to 40. So you get where we're going with this, right? And then we're going to pull up a random number generator, and we're going to select these numbers. Looks like we're actually missing. Oh no, 91 to 100. That makes sense. 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay. So this is 61 to 70, 71 to 80, 81 to 90, 91 to 100, and then we need to pull up the random number generator. Random number generator. Oops, I don't want Excel. Oh, here, this is what I want. So my maximum, I need to change it to 100, and I'm going to generate. So I've got 86, 22, 27. 86, 22, 27. I'm just writing them for now. Okay. 34, 44, 39. 34, 44, 49. 95 and 30. I think I need 2 more, right? Yeah. 55 and 94. Okay, so if you have a different color, you might want to use that to actually circle these now. So we have to find them. 81, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 86. 22 is here. Okay, so I need to make sure you guys are also doing this. You need to find these numbers on your grid and you need to circle them because we're going to be looking at these plots. I can zoom in a little bit so you can see better. We're finding the numbers that I randomly generated. Okay? So you need to find 86, 22, 27, 3, 4, 5, 6, 27, 34, 44, 49, 95, 30, 55, and 94. All right, and so before we go on, I'm just going to come around and make sure everybody has those. So I'm going to pause for a sec. Looking at those, does that look like a better representation of the whole field than his convenience sample?
Yeah. What do you think? David, is that better?
Do you guys think this looks like a better representation of the whole field?
Yeah,
Better than just one side, right?
yeah.
Right, Bryson, would you just like this way in your copy, okay? And then, oh, like, you want me to say what they are?
Mr. Brown, I really news about them. I already read this note.
Did you already wrote these
Yeah.
down? Okay, can you be super quick and leave your gun here? Thanks. Okay, so Bryce,
I don't see anything in here, it's pretty blank to me.
we have CL, Bryce?
Wait, do we have to do those little blue circles too?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, I'll do that real quick.
Bryce, you got
I don't
CL?
see the, what was that? I don't know if I was-
All right.
What are you counting by?
JN and also
Oh,
JO.
You need help?
No, I just can't see.
You have
Okay.
IE,
Uh,
you have
the circle ones?
O.
She was like.
EN, DN.
For 21, she's got 22, then 27.
Let me know when you're ready. Okay.
Oh, but you put the,
CQ,
sorry. The top one here is
CT.
1, 11,
and ES. And that should be 10.
21
Let me know if
31.
you're missing something.
41, then 51.
Are you guys done?
Yeah, all the way down, you're right.
Yeah, Hazel.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. You're welcome. Now you're doing good. Yeah, I'm sure you are. Jesse, yeah.
I mean, I could have told you that.
Okay, so Hussein, you can just write down these numbers right now so that when I go on, you can come back and circle them. See how they're on top of the grid? It says 86, 22, 27. 86, 22, 27. 34, 44, 49.
All right.
95, 30.
30?
95, 30, and then 55, 94. So
No.
then you divide and circle those. Okay. Alright, David, you're gonna be back in
My
under 5
students
minutes,
loved it.
right?
Sure, it's mom. I didn't use your name, so. Thank you. You know what? Mrs. Cargill said that you all would sit in the room.
So you gotta be in the class for it.
But then, we're waiting to, I'm gonna put my pictures up so I can block the window. And Miss Faye is trying to, I know Miss Faye's trying to.
Alright guys, let's just give people 1 minute because people are still trying to catch up on getting those circled, and then we're gonna move on. So we already saw the convenience model, which was all on one side, and now we have the simple random model, and none of those is new to us. And we're gonna give people 1 more minute to get their circles done, and then we're gonna go see something new on the next page.
Awesome. Looks good.
Do you guys notice in this sample that we're missing some of the rows? You see that? Like I don't have anything in the first 2 rows. I don't have anything in the 60s or the 70s, right? I'm also missing some of the columns. So we're gonna see some other samples that will help us make sure we're even more spread out.
60s and 70s don't have circles in them. The first row doesn't have.
Okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay, so this is called a stratified sample. In a stratified sample, you break up the group into equal pieces, and you make sure you take something from each piece. So it says the horizontal rows is a subgroup or strata of the field. Label the boxes in each horizontal row with a different number 1 through 10. Randomly choose 1 plot from each horizontal row, 1 from each row. So each row goes from 1 to 10 now. We don't go to 100. Each row is 1 to 10. And we're going to pick 1 from each row, and that way we'll make sure every row is represented. All right, so this time when I choose random numbers, I'm going to be choosing numbers from 1 to 10, and each one will be for a different row.
are we supposed to put arrows in?
So the arrows just mean that the numbers are going from 1 to 10, and I think the arrows help me know that there are numbers in between there, but if you understand without them, that's fine. Okay, so I need to change this so that it's 1 to 10, and I'm going to choose 10 numbers. 6, 4, 8. It's okay to have repetition this time because we're talking about different rows. So I have 6, 4, 8.
And these are in different rows, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
5, 10, 6. And remember, it's okay about that repetition because we're in a different row. 5, 10, 6. 1, 10. 1, 8. Okay, so in the first row we're going to choose 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the second row we're going to choose 4. Next row we're going to choose 8, so I think you know how that goes. Then we're going to do a 5, 10, 6, 1, 10, 1, and then an 8. All right. So often a stratified sample can be a better representation of the whole field. If you look at this one though, we may have been unlucky in trying to get a sample of the whole field because you kind of see that there's a piece missing, right? Over here, like this whole piece of the field is missing. But we do have these two, so maybe these two can kind of balance it out a little bit. But this is one way to make sure that we have at least all of the rows represented. Okay, so I'm going to come and see how you're doing, but if you want to work ahead, the next thing we're going to do is vertical strata, so we're going to label them 1 to 10 this way. Okay, so you can start labeling your boxes 1 to 10 this way.
We can't see the bottom. There you
Thank
go.
you.
You're welcome.
So if you want to label that ahead of time, you can, and let's go see how you guys are doing.
So you feel good?
Oops, that's not what I wanted.
Yeah, so now, look what she did now, though, it's 1 to 10 from the top, and 10 on the bottom.
So we're going to do vertical strata also.
Very good.
Shaded, you figured it out? Okay. So, however, like your 1 through 10 should be like 1 to 10, and then 1 to 10. You see what I'm saying? Like this wouldn't be a 2 here. That's not this is. Oh, you know, this is the folders. Okay. Okay. You at least put a 1 and a 10 here for me, so that I know that you know that we're going to on for this time, because this is needed for correctly. Okay. Are you helping David out? You're doing that. Why don't you copy down the numbers, because I am going to move on to the next part. Actually, you can't see all of them. I'll move the
That's
papers.
fine, I'll move the-
And we do a number.
So yeah, I don't mind if you want to do it separately, but if you want to follow along with us, then you can wait. I'll do the random numbers for the next one. All right, guys, so I'm going to do random numbers for the vertical strata now. So I have 4, 5, 4. Nine, 5, 10. Nine, 2. 1, and 5. Okay, so all of the columns are going from 1 to 10, and then we're going to circle those. So remember, when it says choose randomly, that doesn't mean just put your finger anywhere and pick. Choose randomly means you have to use a simple random number generator. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 9, 5, 10, 9.
Is this the one that we're putting
Say that again?
in? Is this like the numbers that we're putting in?
So these numbers are just the numbers. Oh yeah, we're all choosing the same spots right now from the random number generator. But remember, these numbers are only the placement of the fields. It has nothing to do with the amount of corn. We're going to find out the amount of corn soon. All right, so when you finish with that one, the last one's called a cluster sample, where you have to put the field into clusters of 10. And we're not going to do rows or columns because we've already done that. So we're going to just do 10 clusters. And for this one, because we've done everything else the same, do you mind getting that, Destiny? Thank you. If you would like to do your clusters different from somebody else, that's totally fine. But they have to have 10 boxes in your cluster. Okay? So what I was saying is, if you want to draw your clusters differently, you can. You're going to get a different answer than me, and that's okay. So the clusters just have to have 10 boxes in them. So any way you want to draw it so it has 10 boxes is fine.
That's whack.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I kind of pieced together 10s here, but yours don't have to be the same as mine. Just remember that you will get a different answer if you make different clusters. Okay, so in this last one, you created clusters of 10 boxes, any 10 you want, and you need to number them in a way that kind of makes sense, but only within the boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 within your clusters.
I'll try reading the colors, so it's easier to see.
Yeah, unfortunately I don't have enough colors, but
It's okay.
I wish I had another color for right there. Maybe blue. This is blue, maybe black.
Oh, so it's, oh, I see, because you're going down between several different rows there. Good? Tired? Did you work last night? I like the drawing, it's good.
Okay, so make sure you are numbering your clusters right now. Hussein, did you number your clusters yet? That's what I'm doing right here.
I'm gonna just copy that off from Momo.
Okay, well, he might have chosen different clusters than you.
I'm still doing the one before.
Yeah.
Well, I like how you put that like that, the camera.
Oh, yeah?
I've been putting mine the other way.
Oh, and yeah, sometimes you have to turn it around.
Yeah, because then when I bump up against it when I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
do the paper, yeah. That's smart.
Okay. So once you have your clusters, if you chose different clusters than me, then there's no reason why you have to stay with me now. You can use your own simple random number generator and get your own numbers if you want, okay? I'm going to choose my 10 numbers, and if you've been following along with me, you can use the same numbers as me, but if you would like to do your own numbers, that's fine. It's good practice to do the random number generator.
It is, that way it keeps it definitely random.
All right, so I'm going to choose some numbers. I've got
Can
10.
you take a picture of what you just did?
Oh, yeah, give me a sec. 10, 9, 6. Okay, it's up there. Hussein is up there.
There, I've asked, I just didn't know my face.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't take a picture.
Oh, give me one sec. 1, 3, 8. I'm putting it back. There it goes. Oops.
Fuck. Can I just take a picture of it off the phone?
Okay, give me one
Turn it
sec.
off right
Can
here.
you wait, please? Five, 6. Five, 3. All right, so I'm going to choose these numbers now. So I'm choosing 10, and then 9, 6, 1, 3. I think I'll choose 3 from this one.
You can't see what you're doing.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Just really-
No, it's helpful. All right. So I chose 10, 9, 6, and then I chose 1, 3. And you might be numbered differently than me. That's okay. We can get different answers at this point. I need to do an 8, though. I've already chosen from that cluster, so I'm going to choose my 8 here.
So is it one in each cluster? or-
Yeah, 1 from each cluster.
Okay. Yeah,
So I-
remember she did it on the generator? See that?
Yeah, so I did these numbers on this random number generator. You can do a different random number generator if you want. I didn't take one from here yet, so I'm going to put 6 from that one,
Putting one number in each cluster.
5,
If you use her numbers.
and 3.
9, 6, 1, 3, 8,
Okay.
5, 6, 5, 3.
So those are the ones I picked. Now, I'm going to pause here so that you have time to catch up.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay.
And then you just pick one number in each cluster. I like what Mr. Wells doing top to bottom, left to right. It makes it more organized for our mind. It's still random.
I need to find. I had made some more copies of this so they wouldn't have to turn back and forth.
Want me to make copies?
No, I got it here. So this is on the next page, but why is there math on this? That's so weird. Oh, I know why. All right, what did I do with my scissors?
Oh, she's over here, remember?
My scissors?
Yeah, you need them. 'cause
Oh, Destiny has them. Thank you.
Here are your cards and here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's awesome. Good.
Chill.
Glad you're here.
All right, guys. So if you are done with that, you can turn the page and you'll see that the corn has come in. And we're going to see how good we did with our estimates. We're going to see which sample was the best sample.
Is you
Now,
got this?
we're going to have to be looking at our choices and also at the corn that came in at the same time. So I'm going to give you this little card so that you don't have to flip so much. But I'm going to need the little card back, okay? So can you please not write on this little card because I need it for my other classes. That one's for Jancy.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So the corn came in, and what might help you guys actually is, it might actually help you if you just take the staple out. Yeah. Did you have a question? Oh, there it is. So I'm giving you this as a card, but actually it might just help to take the staple out of your paper, so you can look at both pieces of paper at the same time. Okay.
Cool.
So that's what I'm gonna do. Let me unfreeze this.
I know. So, a little paper to
Okay. All right. So this is the amount of corn that came in on each plot. It says the actual number of corn grown per plot. Find the plots you marked in each of your methods and list the actual value for each plot in the chart below. Estimate the average number of corn grown per plot based on each of the 5 sampling techniques. And actually, there is one error in one of your formulas here. This formula should say the estimated total is the average times 100, not times 10. Okay? So this is correct. This one is a 10, but the second one is a 100. So look at your neighbor and see if they remember to change that too. Okay? Everybody should change the second formula so it's times 100 here. Okay. So we're going to do one of these together right now. We're going to do the convenient sample. In the convenient sample, I took out my staple so I could look at them at the same time. The farmer chose all of these 10. So these are the numbers that the farmer chose. Okay, so we just have to copy those numbers. So he chose 6, 7. So this is how much corn he got from his sample.
You're going left to right though, correct? You're reading down.
Yeah, so 6, 7, 2, 9, 4, 5, 5, 8, 7, 7. Okay? That was the convenient sample. That one's not so bad. This SRS stands for simple random sample. That's on the next page. So on the next page, we chose this one. That's AP. So I need to find AP up here. Okay. So AP is 55. And then BN is 34. So I have 55 and 34.
First 2 boxes. 55, 34.
Okay. All right, guys, in a minute, I'm gonna give you some time to do this on your own. So I expect you to be paying attention so you know what to do. Hussein and David, can you guys look up, please?
Yeah.
At the board?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm looking at my simple random sample, which was the top of page 2 here. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was the bottom here. This one, right? Did I put the wrong numbers in? Was I looking at the simple random sample?
Yeah, I think so. I couldn't see the top.
Yeah, actually, I think I was. I think I was looking at the stratified one, right? So these numbers go down here, and I need to cross these out. They have to go in the right spot. Okay. For this simple random sample, the first one I had was CL.
It's right here.
So CL is 14. So that should have been 14. And then CQ is 27.
She's in method 2, which is the SRS.
And then 30 is CT.
So, you want to rip it apart, or is it up to you? Because she's actually on the front page. She's in method 2. This one.
96.
Oh, we're gonna have to start for SRS.
Okay, so I'm going to pause this and give you time to find these numbers because we need these numbers in order to find the average for the plots.
Yeah, so we need to put it that way. So, yeah, it's for SRS. So that's what that is.
So if you haven't done any of the calculations yet, you're going to find the average per plot. So you're going to add up the row and divide it by the 10 plots to find the average. So I added the first row and I got 60, and then I'm going to divide that by 10. And so I get the average for the first row is 6, and then there are 100 plots altogether, so I multiply times 100 and I get 600 for my estimated total for the first row. Now that first row should be a lot lower than all of the others, because when you look at the corn in the first row, it's so much less than all of the others. So you're going to get your totals here. These 3 should be the same as people in your group. The last one will be different probably because you chose different clusters from each other. That's fine, but it should really still be in the same range as these. And then after that, you're going to turn the page and answer the questions on the back.
Not the stress, I think, be the same for us. That's just what
I remember right.
Usually you're 4. Alright, how many sections so far?
Alright, so I
You did that one.
Yeah.
This one, so now you're doing this one, right?
Alright. I kind of like did some
my goodness.
You said you did some random numbers.
like for
You just did random numbers, right?
yeah. But I did like a couple.
Alright, Bryce, can I see where you are? The actual total almost 5,000. That is closest to the actual
That's Beacon's. Swear we watched. So,
Are you asking Nicole?
exactly, you know what?
That one, yeah, you're right. The number is 5,000.
Looking good?
These minus 5,000.
Awesome. Looks good?
Yeah.
Alright. Excellent. I don't know the questions. It appears to be good.
So,
You know, I'm a
Nah, Washington. Sure. What is that?
and it was biased, was not a good representation of the whole field. Why was it not a good representation?
Ah.
Unless you put that numbers here.
That you can just always pick the same location, you can pick the same number, and just depends on how you pick, because this one you're picking where you go, right?
No, watch,
It's like this is automatic based on the random number generator, you had to put it in a specific location. Here you're picking where you put it. Exactly what you just said, you can always write the same number, the same location.
disrespecting me.
How we doing over here? Now you've gotten 5 more done, I'm impressed, David. 2 more rows. You all set? Very good. You're doing good,
So
actually.
then,
You don't have to do what he says, just you randomly number 1 through 10 in this box. Whatever, just like all together, whatever makes sense for you. That's why it looks different.
yeah.
You have to get 0. Because now you have to interpret. You're doing great, actually. Whether you realize it or not, you actually. I know. It's all, everyone's tired today. I know what's going on. It's on Tuesday. We're all tired. The actual total of corn grown is 5,004. Which of the methods that you used is the closest to the actual total? So looking on the other side, sorry, that, which is closest to 5,004? Oh, this one also by 100, so that's 600. Yeah, it's 100. So, is it? 10 was divided by 10. You got a good comment.
It says average times 10.
Oh, it has a mistake. It should be 100. Yeah, exactly. So that'll change your numbers. Just add a 0 to the back. Yeah, so the times 100. Perfect. Then you'll get closest to 5,004. You good? Yeah. Okay. Yes, ma'am. This what? No, this one's gonna be actually an individual report. You're gonna write a report. You can work together, but you're right, this is actually a Word document. You're gonna write a report. We'll give you a structure to follow. We always work as a team, that we have to. So this is still individual, correct? So the report's a private report?
Yeah, they're doing their own work there, but they should have different answers at least for the last row, but for the
Well, I meant the
first.
project.
Oh, that part there?
Individual project.
It should be. I mean, I don't mind if they discuss their answers, but they shouldn't have word for word the same answers. Should you what? Oh, you're all done? Will you staple it back together so the holes line up, and then I'll take it.
You know, everyone's tired today, it's weird. I think it's a change in the weather, the new month, all that stuff.
All right, guys, if you finish answering those questions, I want you to staple it back so that the holes line up. And I'm going to take that, and we're going to talk a little bit about your project proposal before we do our quiz trade.